Hello, hello. It's your favorite Eldritch Abomination, Ulrich. Here with the what? August Kofi supporter update of 2025. Woo! These are new. Every single month I record a new trailer for the Kofi, to give updates to Kofi supporters and what's going on, and maybe convince new people and explain what the benefits are and how the benefits may have changed. So yeah, that's what this is. You might be watching this on the Kofi, at which point I hope you're willing to click that donate button. So let's talk about, donating to my channel, the benefits, the point of it, etc, etc. And then we'll get into talking about updates on last month's polls and, what else is going on with the channel. So let's get right into things, talking about the benefits you receive. So, first off, where is your money going? When you support my channel, what is happening with it? What am I doing with the money that you give to me? It goes to me, and to giving me a more stable life, and to helping me make better content for all of you. That is it. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. This is money you're giving to me to help support my creative endeavors. Now, what does that mean in the long term? Well, let's go over the long-term goals first, and then we'll talk about the short-term benefits to all of you. So I have 3 milestones here. The first is if we can hit $1,000 in monthly donations. I have a lot of financial trouble in real life. It's a lot of issues that I have to deal with, but if we can hit this much, $1,000 in monthly donations, it will help fix all of that, and I can begin allocating money to the YouTube channel to improve it, which I will do. This is if we're hitting this much in monthly recurring donations. Excuse me, God, every time I start recording, without fail, I get heartburn after I begin. It's the worst. But, so, I'll begin investing money back into the channel to get a face cam to try and do You Laugh, You Lose content, and a camera to angle and do art projects, because I want to make, I want to eventually start making miniature sets. And make videos of that, like replicas of things from games in Micro Machine scale with like 1 centimeter tall people. I want to do You Laugh, You Lose content, but I feel like that only makes sense if I have a good face cam or a high quality VTuber model, which is another thing I'd look into, is getting a better VTuber rig that can maybe be more expressive than the fucking Muppet ass mouth I got right now. You have not even seen my true form yet. This is merely a fraction of my eldritch power. I'll just try and improve the channel, and I'll look into getting a VR headset, because I already have a VR-ready computer. I just need to buy the headset. I had begun saving up for a VR headset a while ago, and then real-life issue after real-life issue after real-life issue began hitting back-to-back, from issues with my house, to damage to water heater, to losing jobs, to health expenses, etc., etc. It's just been rough. And I've been trying to catch up ever since. But the next milestone is the $2,000 a month. If we hit that point, I will be able to comfortably leave my day job and do this full time. What does that mean has immediate benefits for all of you if we hit that point? 1, daytime streams. Right now I only stream at the night EST time, get a lot of Australian viewers, which is beneficial. I'll still stream during that time, but I'll also stream during the time I'm normally at work. So we'll just stream a lot more at more varying times, more frequently for longer times. There'll be more content being created. And to go along with that, I will begin a second playthrough of Kofi Supporter Series, meaning like I'll begin a new playthrough of a game you guys pick for me to play, running concurrently with the other game you guys picked for me to play. And I'll even be able to, with increased free time, be able to look into doing things like bringing back the Two Brothers series. I mean, my brother recording stuff. We have several games we never finished. Look into creating more crossover content, bringing back things like Stardew Valley with my friends Doodle and Books, and playing other games like Gary's Mod and Lethal Company with my friends. Right now, it's very hard to schedule things like that because, I have a day job, and day jobs suck. But, with some help, we might be able to do more content and more variety content by having more free time if I'm able to, make a living off this. And then at the $3,000 a month goal, I will immediately look into hiring 1 or more editors to create edited content, to create like movie-style compilations of my playthroughs and YouTube shorts and all sorts of good, nice content for my channel, you know? And basically it is, each one of these is more improvements to the channel, you know? Better hardware for the channel, more time for the channel, hire an editor. It will all go into improving the channel, you know? Next slide. So, what's the short-term benefit for you? Anybody who donates at all, you don't even need to be a monthly supporter to get these benefits. You will get access to partake in every single poll I hold, well, most polls I hold. You'll gain the ability to partake in them and vote on what games I play, what kind of projects I should be working on, etc. And you'll be able to see updates made to the channel, news updates that fill you in on a lot of what's going on the channel and in my recording and what I have happening. And you're also given the ability to download the channel schedules. So, you know, a lot of overall good things. Now, if you become a monthly supporter, you get even more benefits. And we're going to start going over all of these in detail, but here it is laid out. We have the base supporter tier is just $1 a month. That's all you need to donate to start getting benefits. But the more you donate, the more you get. At $5 a month, you become a 0.5 supporter with a few improvements. Double supporter for $10 a month, and the triple supporter at $30 a month. Let's go over these benefits, huh? So, if you become a base level supporter for $1 a month, you get access to, on the polls I hold for what game I should play, the games that appear on there are games that were requested by previous supporters. So if you become a supporter, immediately you can request a game and it will be added to the polls. And even if you stop supporting me, so long as that's gotten a couple of votes, it will remain on the poll of what game I should play next. Which is, you know, awesome. You can just support for a short time, get your thing up, and then be good. But I will say, remaining as a monthly supporter provides a bonus to poll options, which we will go over later. You also get mentioned in every single weekly and monthly news update, and on that topic, thank you to my wonderful Kofi supporters that already exist. Thank you very much to Candlecorn at the base tier, with additional thank you to Stratos and Barbara at the 0.5 tier, and a double thank you to Atomic Squid at the double tier. You will get thanks like this in the monthly update, in every single weekly news update, at the start or end of most streams. I regularly thank my supporters. Every single news update on the Discord. Oh my god, Harbert's burn is killing me. You'll also get a credit on my first game release, whenever that happens. That's a project that's on the back burner, and you know, you all can help it come back again, and get me to work on it more by partaking in votes that we'll go over later. It had to go on the back burner when my life was getting crazy at one point, and it just hasn't been able to come back yet. But you know, you can all help change that. We'll go over that later. Next is the 0.5 supporter tier. A tier that was created out of feedback from all of you to create a mid-tier between the base tier supporter and double tier supporter that gives a couple extra benefits. When you enter this point, you get a 5x5 sprite next to your name. When I make this sprite, you are fully allowed to screenshot it, grab it, and do whatever you want. You have my permission. Granted, I can't stop you from doing it otherwise, but you know, it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies when you know you've been told it's okay for you to do it. So, you know, go make it your profile picture on Kofi or some shit. You also get access to Heart of Action related content, my tabletop system that I am developing. And as of when this video is going up, it should be before this goes up, yeah. You will be getting a new update in this. I know I've been dropping the ball on the Heart of Action content releases for a while, but I'm trying to get back into it. You know, my life was hectic for a while. Things are starting to stabilize and starting to look better and better, honestly. I'm in a stable job again. I might be moving to a new house, but that new house will be better when I go there. Things look like they're getting better. And that increased stability is giving me the ability to start working on HOA content again. You also get access to early drafts of my fanfictions. Been a while since I worked on that. This is the thing you'll probably see the least of, because while I do like writing the fanfictions, and I was very much encouraged to do it by a lot of you viewers, I just haven't been, you know, it takes a lot of time, and I like to Well, what I usually do is I'll send drafts of sections to the Kofi, let you all see it and give comments on it and thoughts about it, and then I throw it I throw it into my notes until I finish the next chapter. So, you know, my currently existing fanfiction that I've begun working on, a bunch of chapters, there are a bunch of segments from the next unreleased chapter are available if you go dig in for them. But you know, those are the benefits that you get. Of course, this is on top of the previously stated benefits of the level 1 tier. The benefits stack, they don't diminish. If you become a double supporter for $10 a month, double because there's double digits, you get all previously stated benefits, so, you know, partaking in the polls, being able to see HOA content, etc. Your sprite is upgraded from a 5x5 to a 10x10, double the size. You can see, I think the quality difference is best shown. This one, oops, this thing right next to me, and this one are the same character from when somebody downgraded their supporter tier. And so, you know, you get this, like, you can see the immediate difference you get in amount of detail that you can get. But you also get access to double supporter polls. Because I have a double supporter, every single time I make a poll, I create a duplicate of it that only double supporters can vote on, basically giving double supporters double the votes. That's the main benefit you're paying for with this. Next is the triple supporter reward. You get all the previously stated benefits. Your sprite is upgraded to be a 20x20 pixel sprite. Here's some examples of what that would look like. These ones came out a little fuzzy because for some reason Google Slides doesn't like the 20x20 sprites and makes them fuzzy. I don't know why. You will get a third vote on all polls listed right here below me. That is, I haven't made any triple supporter votes because I don't have a triple supporter yet, but be aware that the moment you join as a triple supporter vote, boom, I will make those like within the 48-hour period of you making your account and supporting me at that tier. I'll make the new poll for you to vote on, and it will be a third vote. You know, it's a replica of the previous things, but you know, you just get to vote a third time and have more influence. Additionally, at this tier, you'll be able to work with me to create fun NPCs and influence the stories of Shadow Space and Hero Infinite. I should probably swap this logo out because we are actually very soon going to be entering a new arc of Shadow Space, leaving the Broken Triangle arc behind. But in the case of Shadow Space, if you become a triple supporter, I will talk with you. We will design a minor NPC who will help or hinder the players for a singular story segment. As the series becomes more serialized and episodic in its storytelling, you'll be able to create one-off threats or allies that will help the players. Work with me to give a rough guide of how they will behave, and, you know, we'll throw them in, and you can have a character in the setting. You won't be playing it, you'll just be designing it, and maybe even getting to design an episode or a scenario if you have a good enough idea. Then the other one is Hero Infinite. For those who don't know what Hero Infinite is, it is my other tabletop campaign, and it's basically shitty fanfiction, the campaign. The whole thing is full of copyright infringement, and we have fictional characters. We'll go over this more later in this, but you'll be able to request any fictional character you want, and they will be added to a poll to get added to the series, because I have a poll that I use to help me determine what characters to add to the setting. It's a thing we'll go over later, but you can be asked to have, you know, it's a superhero-themed campaign with my friends, so you can be like, I want Spider-Man in it, or I want to see Doctor Doom, or I want to see Iron Man, you know, whatever fictional character you want. You could be like, I want to see the Kool-Aid guy show up, and I'll be like, alright, I'll figure it out. Kool-Aid guy will get added in, potentially. Like, this, triple supporters will get to request a character to have added to the poll of characters to get added. That doesn't mean the character gets added right away. They're added to the drawbag of characters that will get gradually introduced. So it might be some time between you supporting and the character getting added in. But especially because I record these things in advance to have a backlog. But moving on, we then have the joke supporter tiers. These are tiers I put, not at all expecting anybody to ever donate to them. I would not expect you to donate to them. It's silly if you do. but there is benefits to go with them anyway, so let's go over that. I mainly did these as a reference to one of my favorite YouTubers, Overanalyzing Avatar, who made a don't tier, and I thought it was very funny, and then people started supporting him at it, and he was like, what is wrong with you people and your poor financial spending? So, you know, if you support me at either of these tiers, get ready to hear me regularly insult your financial spending, while also kissing the earth you walk on and wanting to suck you silly. So, if you become a solid gold supporter at $100 a month, you will get all previously stated benefits. Your sprite will be upgraded to be a 40x40 sprite. You'll get a 4th vote on all polls, and we will create... I'm sorry. Why did you leave my playlist that I set up, YouTube? I set up a playlist specifically so I don't have to click away. I started moving to music that was not part of my playlist. It always does that when I'm recording these. Even though I set it to loop every time. Anyway. Yes, I will also create new solid gold supporter votes. So, you know, I'm just gonna quickly bring something down to help me explain this better. This is my upload schedule. This is from... Is this week's or last week's? I think this is this week's one. Which means I'm actually showing it slightly earlier than it's shown off. But, you know, series come in 3 flavors. Kofi supporter series, Discord support or vote series, and my pick series. So the Discord stuff is stuff that I'm playing because the people on Discord in the master poll on Discord, consisting of like 100+ games waging to be the next game I played, they voted on it. This was the game picked by my Kofi supporters for me to play, and these are games that I picked to play on my own. So, you know, those are the things we got going. If we can get to the $2,000 a month donation, we'll begin a second Kofi supporter series. But if we ever get a solid gold supporter on Kofi, we will immediately begin the solid gold playthrough. The first gold supporter will name a game, and I'll begin a playthrough of that game. And if there's multiple gold supporters after that point, they will be able to partake in gold supporter exclusive votes to vote on what game you want to see me play. Has a whole separate playthrough. So, you know, if you don't want to wait for me to get $2,000 a month in cumulative votes, then this is a way to get me to do it. Become the first gold supporter, and boom, new playthrough of your choice. I hold limited rights to veto, but I'm open. I'm open to trying most things. I just won't, like, you know, if you're trying to be like $100, go play a game that supports fascism, I'll be like, no, I won't. I won't do that. So I hold veto rights, but, you know, generally speaking, I probably won't do that. And you will also be given the chance to play games with me. I say live on stream. I think it's going to be changed to just in recordings, because I don't want to risk streaming with somebody who I don't know and having them say something that bans my channel. But, you know, you'll get invited to games of Gary's Mod and Lethal Company, and potentially even down the road I might create a exclusive server in Minecraft or Ark or some other game that gold supporters want to play with me, and I'll create a server that we can play in together. You know, so but that's the thing I will look into, you know, when the time comes. Then there's the don't tier. Don't do this. You can also call it platinum tier, but it's not platinum tier, it's don't. It's $1,000 a month. At this point, like, you know, you've knocked us up an entire tier of improvements single-handedly. So you will get all previous benefits, a 5th vote on all polls, a 2nd vote on the solid gold votes. I don't list that here, but it would be a thing. You'd get to vote twice on the solid gold votes. You get an 80x80 sprite, and it's worth noting that each of these tiers, the scale of your text next to your logo or next to your sprite increases in scale along with it, so the names will get bigger and bigger, drowning out the smaller names. But you will also, anybody at this tier, name a game, and I'll begin a playthrough of it that will keep going so long as you're a supporter. Because you know what? If you're supporting me at $1,000 a month, yeah, I'll play whatever fucking game you want. Anything. With very limited vetoing. You want me to play a porn game? I'll play a porn game. I won't stream it, but I'll record it, edit it, censor it, and put it up. I hate editing, but if you're paying me $1,000 a month, yeah, I'll edit one video a day. But yeah, those are the joke tiers. Now, let's go over vote results. So, I mentioned before that one of the big benefits, and this is the real meat of why you might want to support me on Kofi, is all these votes and the ability to affect the channel. So, some quick notes on these. These votes are reset every single month. So, there's a new vote every month. The August votes are already up, and, you know, these votes will all end at the end of August going into September. Votes are cumulative. The longer a vote goes, the more votes you receive. So while they reset every month, on my end, I save all of the votes from the months prior. So if a game has been on the poll for 3 months and you keep voting for it, those votes don't get thrown away at the end of the month. They keep on stacking and roll over into the next poll and the next poll and the next poll until I call that poll to an end. Because, like, for example, Hitman World of Assassination, I've been playing that game for months now. So it would suck if you were a supporter during one of the months when I was playing it, voting on what game I play next, and I threw away your votes. So the longer you support and the longer you wait, the more you are able to hedge the bets towards the game you want to see me play and give it more votes. All supporters can partake in the votes. Monthly subscribers, even those who donate $1 are allowed to make requests on certain votes. So yeah, that's something I went over earlier. $1 lets you make a request for what games you would want to see me play. Requesting a vote option, that's supposed to say option. I can't believe that's... I'll fix that later. I've been doing this for how many months and I've only just now noticed that I put the wrong word there. Requesting a vote option counts as 10 votes. So long as you are supporting me monthly, whatever game you want me to play is automatically treating it as having 10 votes. The moment that you stop supporting me, all of your previously placed votes are kept on it. So if you voted for it 3 months in a row, it still keeps those 3 votes. But it will go down by 10 points because it's no longer financially backed. And so if multiple people, because of that, multiple people can request the same game and boost that game dramatically by making it their officially chosen game they want to see me play. Similarly, requests are allowed to be changed anytime. So if you requested, hey, I want to see you play Halo 4, and then come next month, near the end of the month, you decide, I don't want him to play Halo 4 anymore. You can message me on Kofi and be like, hey, can I change my request from Halo 4 to Doom Eternal? And I'll be like, gotcha, homie. Doom Eternal it is. So I will change your requested game from Halo 4 to Doom Eternal. Halo 4 will lose 10 options, and Doom Eternal will gain 10. But so long as Halo 4 still has 1 vote on it, it won't go away. It'll stick around, and you can, in theory, use this to request a new game every month. It's just that whatever game you're actively requesting is given a stat boost. And, you know, I'll only update these at the start of each month. So, you know, yeah, you can't just rapidly be like, change it, because I gotta leave the polls up for people to actually partake in them. If you remove your request, yeah, I just stated that whole bit, and that's the only vote that has things going. That's not entirely true, because triple tier supporters can request characters to be on the hero vote, but, you know, it's not worth even updating it to match that, because we don't have any triple tier supporters yet. But, you know, maybe you could be the first. So, let's talk about these polls. So, the first poll I have going is a new one I was made. I already mentioned Hitman World of Assassination has been going for a few months now. At this point on the Twitch end, we have made it to freelancer mode, and I could theoretically play this game forever. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to play this game forever. So I've come to a decision. This poll, or hang on, this poll, at the end of this month, I will look at the votes that it has. It started last month, so it's 2 months worth of votes. You can all vote for either move on or keep it daily. So let me explain. 2 votes have gone to move on, 1 has gone to keep it daily. You can still sway this by the end of this month. If move on wins, Or hang on, I was gonna say keep it daily first, because that's the status quo. If keep it daily wins, I'm gonna bring this back down. We will keep playing Hitman every single day of the week for the YouTube channel. You know, that means 2 to 3 streams a week, but it'll be daily Hitman videos as long as that keeps up. But at the end of this month, if Move On is still winning, then Hitman World of Assassination will be moved from the Kofi supporter series to happening once a week on Wednesday as World of Assassination Wednesdays. Because I've decided I want to keep playing this game indefinitely, because it's one of the best games I've ever played in terms of pure gameplay fun. And so because of that, I will keep playing it as a bonus series, and a new series will take its slot. So long as you all want to keep it as a daily series, it will be that. You just gotta, you know, swing your votes out. So there's that. The next poll. What game should I play next? What game should I play next? Yeah. First option, in 7th place with 2 votes, meaning it's not likely we'll play this anytime soon, House Flippers 2. And remember, if Hitman loses the vote, whatever's winning this part of the poll is the game that will take up the Hitman slot on the calendar. Yeah, House Flippers 2. This game is no longer backed because the person who requested it stopped supporting me, but it still exists because it got a couple of votes on it. In 6th place, with 5 votes, Nitrome. Long-term viewers know that a while ago I was trying to do a playthrough of all of Nitrome's Flash games. That died down way back during the first channel purge, in which I had issues and had to cut some series that were running. This was requested a while ago by a viewer, was added in, but they had to stop supporting, so their 10 votes were taken away. In 5th place, with 12 votes, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, as requested by Candlecorn. Now, of note, that's actually only been voted for twice, but because it's actively supported, it gets an extra 10. And, you know, we're in the top 5 now, so we got the little badge here, ha ha ha. Yeah, Super Lesbian Animal RPG. I've seen this name floating around on Tumblr quite a bit. It looks goofy as fuck, and I've just been like, yeah, I want to play that game. So I'm 100% down to give this a go if it wins. In 4th place with 13 votes. Similar situation, I believe. Oh yeah, no, this one doesn't have a backer. It's gotten to 13 organically. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. This was something I added to the poll myself way back when we didn't have a lot of poll options. You know, when a poll, if I don't have enough supporters, I will flesh out a poll with more meaty options, and the option will just stay there if people have been voting for it. I played through the first Turnip Boy game, loved it, and I've been wanting to play this one for a while. It's been about finding the time, you know? Honestly, depending on how things go, if I'm able to find the time, I might just do a playthrough of this as a bonus series, but we'll see. In 3rd place with 15 votes, World of Goo 2. Another game I added on my own. God, I want to play through it so bad. World of Goo was a staple of my childhood, so if I the chance to play the sequel, oh, I'm all up for that. In 2nd place with 20 votes, Mass Effect, as requested by Barbara. This one's been sitting here for a while, and, you know, holding a good place with how long it's been here. And now, in 1st place, with 37 votes, the game I will play if we move on from Hitman, Halo 3 ODST. That is unless, of course, we get a bunch of supporters that change that, as requested by Atomic Squid. Look at that shit. Isn't that a huge number that it's at with 37? Oof. I've been playing through the Halo series. This is the next step in my journey. I cannot wait to play it. Now to the next poll. What do you want to see as bonus content? Now, let me be clear. This is not the set in stone picking what my bonus content is going to be. This is me gauging all of you for interest, and I'm going to more than likely not pick the top voted thing to be the game I play, but I'll toss it around here and there. These are things I will record if I've, like, gotten a full backlog of everything else, and I'm like, okay, let's get a little bit of bonus content going. With 0 votes, some of these because they're brand new options just added, we got Fusimon, Art, and Board Game Smash. Fusimon, those are long-term fans. You may remember that before I was even doing YouTube, on Tumblr, I was doing Pokemon Fusion Art, and early on in the channel, I used the channel to showcase a little bit of that and make some of it live for all of you. This would be bringing that back, doing Pokemon Fusion fusions that you all request. Then there's Art Stream. This would be similar to Fusibon, but it'd just be me doing art of whatever the fuck I want. You know, I wouldn't mind doing pixel art again and trying to stretch my skills and do bigger scale things, so if you guys want it, I'd be more than willing to do weekly art streams. Board Game Smash. This might end up being more of a monthly thing. I don't know how frequently it would be, but it's a project I've had in my brain for a while, and if it gets voted up, I'll create another poll relating to it. So what is Board Game Smash? I would take 2 board games and make them smash. What game do you get when you combine Monopoly and the Game of Life? What board game do you get when you mix Sorry with chess? What board game do you get when you mix Talisman the Talisman the Adventure board game and Dead of Winter the Zombie Apocalypse board game? But this wouldn't just be that. I would start by making 2 games of your guys' choice smash, and then the child that comes out would smash another board game, and the child that makes would smash another, as we make an increasingly complex and stupid board game. You guys might not know, I just realized that the frame is misaligned down here. How the fuck did that happen? I'll have to fix that. But I'm a huge game board enthusiast, and one day I want to do content of me playing board games on the channel, but that's the kind of thing that would take, you know, a big investment. It immediately moved off the playlist again. Why do you do this, YouTube? Loop the playlist. Yeah, I'm a huge board game enthusiast, and I love to do more content of me playing board games, but, you know, the same reason I don't have a lot of crossover content, you know, it takes a lot of time and effort to arrange that kind of thing. But anyway, next in 4th place with 1 vote. Yeah, I left the S on there, whoops. These 3 tied. Bring back the Sunless Sea series, bring back the Zelda Expanded art project, where I'm expanding Zelda 1's map using Zelda 2's map as inspiration, and the Death Stranding the board game series, where I'm trying to make a Death Stranding themed board game. These are all tied up for things people want to see. In 3rd place... Sorry, I was looking at the thing. In 3rd place with 2 votes, Marble Island Roll. Yeah, this is the YouTube thumbnail for that series. Marble Island Roll is my game I was developing that I would love to get back to working on, but, you know, only if you're all interested in seeing me work on it more. I would do weekly videos of me working on developing the game and asking you all for advice as I slowly teach myself how the fuck Unreal works. In 2nd place with 3 votes, Tears of the Kingdom 100 Years Later. This is a project that I began working on after beating Tears of the Kingdom on a whim. It started off as me designing a hypothetical sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. You know, what if they made a 3rd open-air game set in the same world and made a rounded-off trilogy? What might the 3rd game look like? And then the idea very quickly evolved into, I just want to make a Tears of the Kingdom tabletop campaign. And so that's kind of what it is now, is me just openly designing a tabletop campaign for all of you. But anyway, that leads us into, in 1st place with 4 votes, HOA. Heart of Action is my tabletop role-playing system that you can find the rules to in my Discord, linked down below, for free. The basic rules. I'm working on advanced rules that contain things like enemy stats, weapons, vehicles, base building, etc. But that's all stuff that I'm keeping on the back burner and would want to sell one day, and I'm going to start drip-feeding bits of that stuff to you guys on the Kofi soon. But, you know, you've all expressed an interest in me doing more HOA content and maybe even doing another series similar to Shadow Space and Hero Infinite. That is in the works right now. I'm working on a campaign that will begin airing, and because of that, this is removed from the poll. On the poll that's on the Kofi right now, HOA isn't an option because I've already locked it in as the next big project that I'm working on in the background. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now because I saw this shooting up in the ranks. But a lot of that is happening off stream currently, and it'll take time before you all see the results of it. It'll happen faster if I get more donations and I'm able to leave my day job. Oops, wrong button. Now then, to the next poll. What should I adapt into Heart of Action? So, I mentioned I want to start posting more Heart of Action content onto the Kofi. Heart of Action is designed to be a universal role-playing system that you can play in any kind of setting in it. Because of that, I thought it'd be fun to try and adapt things from video games into Heart of Action. Way back, I did a little bit of that and posted it to the Kofi, and I want to start doing that again, and this poll is going to help me pick exactly what games I will adapt into Heart of Action, and you supporters will be able to see the benefits of that as I work on it. I'm going to try to do once a week a piece of content posted. We'll see if I'm able to keep up with that pace. So, with 0 votes, we have, one of these was recently added, and that's why it's at 0, Borderlands, Talisman, the Magical Quest game, and Sunless Sea. These are 2 video games and a board game that I think I could turn into a fun tabletop role-playing campaign. So that's why I put them. All of these are things that I put because I thought I could adapt it well, and it would be a fun game and a fun challenge to adapt. Next, in 4th place with 1 votes, Doom and Half-Life. Both games that would be fun to turn into a tabletop format. In 3rd place, hang on, actually let me go a little bit more into depth with these. If I adapted Talisman, I would take every mechanic of the board game's base game and write a tabletop game campaign based around it, where all of the all the classes that your character can be would be NPCs in the world, all of the enemies would be NPCs, all of the items would be obtainable. I'd make a Talisman board game. Borderlands would entail basically making you be a vault hunter. The big draw of this would be me creating an incredibly large and in-depth gun generation system based off of Borderlands. I know there's an existing Borderlands tabletop system. That's not the point. This is just to make me have to try and create fun, weird things in my system. Sunless Sea. I fucking love Sunless Sea. And this would be designed for... I know there's a Fallen London tabletop role-playing game coming out, but this would be 1, in my tabletop system, and 2, be specifically from the point of view of being a sailor in the Sunless Sea. Yeah. Moving on. Half-Life and Doom. The Half-Life tabletop system I would develop would be based heavily around the first game and its expansions, with the players taking the role of scientists and security guards trying to escape the Black Mesa facility. The Doom tabletop game, meanwhile, I would design all of the demons as enemies, and the players would take the role of those power-armored soldiers that Doom guy is finding all over the map in Doom 2016 and removing the chips from. That's right, you get to play as the guys who die. In 3rd place with 2 votes, we have Spore, Metro 2033, Fallout Post-Nuclear Role-Playing Game, and Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart, I really don't know what the campaign would even be about. I just think I could adapt the mechanics and weapons of that game into tabletop in a fun way. Metro, I would go through the first game to begin and to convert all of the enemies and guns into things in Heart of Action. Spore would come with a full Spore creature creator in tabletop form and mechanics of how every stage would work as a tabletop game. We're starting with Cell Stage and working our way up. And a Fallout role-playing game, I just adapt all of the guns and enemies and fucking everything into my system. I know it's in a pre-existing Fallout tabletop role-playing game. That's not the point. This is about experimenting with my system. Also, I don't like the Fallout tabletop role-playing game. The 2D20 system from Modifius Entertainment is a great system. I just don't think it fits the world of Fallout well. In 2nd place with 3 votes, we have a tie between BioShock, Dishonored, Minecraft, and Super Mario. And some of these I have campaigns for. Minecraft, I just think it'd be fun to try and make a Minecraft tabletop system. Mario, I think it'd just be a fun thing. BioShock and Dishonored, though, I already have campaigns written up. Dishonored, I would run a campaign called Dishonored Age of the Rat Plague. Set at the onset of the Rat Plague, prior to the events of Dishonored 1, the players take the role of various citizens living in the city of Dunwall, all of whom get offered a mark by the outsider as the beginning of the Rat Plague looms in the near future. They all have to play petty gang politics and fight, or as the different factions of the city squabble amongst each other as the city falls into chaos. Will they feed into that chaos to gain power, or will they try and hold on to some semblance of humanity and morality and order? We just have to wait and see. We then have the BioShock campaign. I would adapt everything from Bioshock 1 and 2 and Burial at Sea into this. I'd ignore Infinite because it's an entirely different setting. And the campaign would be set at the onset, or just prior to the onset of the Rapture Civil War, when Rapture was at its peak just before its fall in Bioshock 4 Kings, where the players will be torn between the fighting factions of the city and have to pick who they want to be in charge as they take the role of Kingmaker. Then, in first place with 4 votes, is these 4 things. Halo. I have already been kind of working on doing this, I just haven't made any posts about it with my friend Atomic Squid, who helped me get a lot of background stats on enemies and guns. Was very grateful to him for that. I had trouble finding a lot of what he was able to dig up. And the campaign I would do would basically be Red vs. Blue, but from the Covenant point of view. The players would play Covenant aliens and have a Red vs. Blue style goofy adventure. Legend of Zelda. Honestly, this is just going to be the Tears of the Kingdom thing. And is probably the one I'm going to start making posts on in the near future in the Kofi. In fact, like I said, by the time this goes up, you should be able to see the first of those, where I'm going to start adapting enemies, weapons, and healing items from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as the starting point. And then once I've gotten everything I'm comfortable with those, I'm going to move backwards through the series, adapting things from older and older games. Prey. I would make a system where you are people on the space station during the Typhon outbreak, and I would adapt all of the items and neuromods into tabletop equivalents. And then Death Stranding. I would make, adapt all of the mechanics and such into that. Exactly what the story would be, we'll have to beat Death Stranding 2 before I can get an idea of that. Yeah, that's the fun stuff. That's the fun shit. Now, to the Hero Infinite votes. These are 2 polls that affect Hero Infinite. So let's talk a bit about Hero Infinite real quick. As I mentioned, Hero Infinite is shitty fanfiction in the campaign. Every player has received the ability to request 5 fictional characters that they want to see appear in the world of Hero Infinite. And we've begun to have a bunch of those characters appear, but we still have plenty more to add. And these polls will help you all have you all help me pick what characters to add. Now, to be clear, I'm not going to immediately add whoever's at the top of this vote. This is me gauging interest in who needs more TLC. Higher voted characters are characters that I know you will all care about more, and therefore I need to handle the introduction with more care and make them more accurate to who they are as a character. So, who should we add to the setting? First off with 0 votes, several of these because they're brand new options. Yeah, this is big. We have the Unicorn Ninja of Ninja Sex Party, Aphrodite, Luna Snow, that's spaced weirdly, G.I. Robot, the Elric Brothers, Sung Jin Woo, the Tooth Fairy, Edna Clawthorn, Zagreus, Magneto, the Mercenaries of TF2, Orpheus and Icridius from Greek mythology, Proto-Man, Handsome Jack, Bumblebee, and the Three Stooges are all characters that have been requested by players. Oof. Now, it should be noted, I told the players they could request fictional characters. What the fuck is Dan Avidan doing here? That's not Dan Avidan. That's the Unicorn Wizard of Ninja Sex Party. Fictionalized versions of real-life people are allowed. So the players can't request David Bowie, they can request Ziggy Stardust. They can't request Dan Avidan, they can request the Unicorn Wizard. In that same vein, you could be like, I want James Woods from Family Guy, and I'll go, yeah, you know what, that's fine, because James Woods from Family Guy is such a distinct entity from James Woods in real life that I would allow it. In 11th, with 1 vote, so yeah, we're gonna be here for a hot minute, we have these 4 characters. Bayonetta, Gambit, Rexplode, and Task Force 141. In 10th place with 2 votes, we have Danny Phantom, Cecil Girdershade Palmer, Dante Sparta, and Dr. Doom. I forgot to either put his name there or I forgot to remove him because he's on a higher slide. Whoops. Listen, these things, it's easy to make a mistake when I'm juggling this many characters, forgive me. In 9th place with 3 votes, we have Amy Rose, the Incredible Hulk, and the Skeleton Man from Axis of Awesome. In 8th place with 4 votes, we have Deadpool, the Crimson King from Stephen King's novels, Widowmaker, and Prophet, who is layered incorrectly, as well as the Crimson King, so they're not behind the frame. Whoops. In 7th place with 5 votes, we have the Hanged King of SCP fame, Nightwing, and Cell from Dragon Ball. In 6th place with 6 votes, we have Amaterasu and the Scarlet King. Also, gotta appreciate that. In 5th place with 7 votes, we have Freakazoid. In 4th place with 9 votes, we have, which I will say in general, this is the point where you can start expecting me to really pay attention. I can add any character on the tier list, but when I'm writing episodes and I'm trying to figure out, ooh, what characters should I use in this? I start looking at the highest numbers first and working my way down. Yeah, Freakazoid. In 4th with 9 votes, we have the Punisher, Ratma, and John Constantine. 2 of these characters have already been teased. In 3rd place with 10 votes, we have Agent 47. And in 2nd place with 2 votes, we have Tahoo from Bionicles. And in 1st place with 15 points, we have Doom Guy. I gotta play the new game still, because I know that's given us a lot more lore on the character. Now, who is your favorite NPC? This is letting you vote on who your favorite character in the series is so far. So, with 0 votes, some of these characters, because they only got added in the last month, we have Fate, The Oldest House, Raz Aquitano, Master Chief, Reagan Ridley, Robin Hood, Professor Egad, Samus Aran, Titans from Attack on Titan, Slade, Ink, Am, Ted, Sam and Max, and Wallace and Gromit. In A place with 1 votes. Whoops. Again, I've not my bad. I'm far enough along that I'm not gonna fix this. Some of this has layering issues because I was doing it late at night when high. Forgive me. We have Karma the Cat, Beetlejuice, Gwenpool, Ernie and Bert, Space Ghost, Commander Lyle Tiberius Rorik, Team Rocket, and Miles Morales. Again, these are all characters that already exist in setting. I could have a session where everyone on screen right now is talking to each other. This campaign is stupid and I love it. In 3rd place with 2 votes, we have Goombella and the Yellow King. It's unbelievably funny to me that 2 of the most popular characters in this series are Goombella from Paper Mario and the fucking Yellow King of Lovecraftian mythos. In 2nd place with 3 votes, we have Dr. Olivia Octavius, who has become a major reoccurring villain of the campaign now, which I'm glad of. And in 1st place with 4 votes is Venom and J. Jonah Jameson. Venom has basically latched onto one of the player characters at this point, so that's fun. But yeah, that's been the Kofi news update. Oh boy, that was a lot, wasn't it? So let's just talk a little bit more about the Kofi and what's going on with it. As I mentioned, I now am going to set for myself the goal of having 1 piece of Heart of Action content go up a week. I'm going to try and stick to, after every stream, making an update. Or at every day, at least. Maybe not after every stream, but at least once a day. Or every day that I stream, I should say. Every day that I stream, I'm going to try and make a news update for all of you. Words. Honestly, something else I was debating. Let me know if you're all interested down below. I might start putting pet pics. I might start making pictures of my pets. A tier reward. I want to make more benefits. I want to make this worthwhile to all of you. So if any of you have any suggestions on ways to improve the Kofi or the YouTube channel in general, let me know. I'm always looking to make better content for all of you. But anyway, well, that's been the August news update for the Kofi supporters. I hope you've all been enjoying the content coming out. I hope you're all looking forward to the content to come. And hey, go partake in those votes, you know? A lot of them are going to have a lot of relevance in the coming months, because if Hitman loses that poll, then we're going to start playing whatever game is winning in the other poll. You know? Words. I hope you've all enjoyed this, and I hope I've convinced you to support me. Let's give one last quick shout out to our existing Kofi supporters. Thank you so much to Candlecorn, Destratos, Barbara, And a double thank you to Tomix Good of the double tier. Thank you. Alright. See all of you in a month. Or hopefully sooner if you're watching my other content and catching my streams. Oh yeah, head to the Discord to get updates on when I go live. Link down below. Good way to interact with me directly. Anyway, bye!